From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
All right, welcome back. It's still VOP this morning. The Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice in Rivers State, Professor Zacchaeus Adango, and also Isaac Kamalu, the Minister of Finance, has rejected their redeployment by the sitting governor of Rivers State, Oseni Fubara. Adango, a loyalist of Minister Wike, was among Fubara's cabinet member who resigned from the position at the height of the political crisis between Wike and Fubara. But after a peace meeting with President Tinubu on the state crisis, Adango and Isaac Kamalu returned with assurance to work with the government to achieve the needed development in the state. But earlier this week, Governor Fubara reshuffled his cabinet and also redeployed Zacchaeus to be the Commissioner for Special Duties. And Isaac Kamalu also redeployed to be the Commissioner for Employment and development in the state, but in a later address to the Secretary to the River State government, both Zacchaeus and Isaac Kamalu rejected their new offices, resigned from River State Executive Council, and accused the governor of interfering with performance of their duty, first as the Attorney General of the state and Isaac as a Minister for Finance in that particular state. And we have two gentlemen in the studio this morning to help do justice to this discussion. We have Mr. Sheson Okoade, who is a chartered accountant, a chartered tax professional, and a chartered transport administrator. Good morning, Mr. Sheson.
Good morning, Fina. David Moses.
Good to have you.
To you. Great to be here this morning.
And also we have Dr. Gani Oluwashola, who is FCTI Managing Partner, KJB Professional Services. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. So I like the way she says, you just call your name as if it's in the UK intonation.
All right, gentlemen. Now we're looking at the River State again. Before now, it was some people resigning their office, saying they are not interested again. They tagged them actually to be from Wike Loyalist, but after a peace pact, between the both, I'm talking about Fubara and Wike, they were actually asked to come back to the governors. But we have two people now resigning because they were redeployed by the state governor. They actually pointed out reason to be that they felt being degraded or rather humiliated. First was Zacchaeus Adango, saying that he cannot leave his position as the Attorney General of the state now to special duties. And Isaac Kamalu also says that being the Commissioner for Finance in the state actually is better for him. What do you make of that, Mr. Gani, Dr. Gani?
Thank you. That's a brilliant question. In my dialect, they says that, I'll start to read that when you give someone a goat, you release the rope. so that he could be able to move along with the goat. You can't hold the rope and allow the goat to move. You see, Obaseki once says to Adam Oshoma, he said, I can't be a governor and not being a governor. I can't be a governor and not being a governor. You understand? So I can't be in a man of the house and do not have the authority or a say in that house. Do you understand? So you now say, it's just like an employer of labor. Your employer says that, oh, I'm moving you from HR department to finance department. I say, hey, don't touch my HR. I will sit there for that is where my core duty. The question will ask you, are you the one that hired me or I hire you? You see, this shows a lot of impunity and a lot of caution being thrown into the air. Right? Well, the state governor, Fubara, is the chief CEO, right? And also the chief security officer of that state. You are an appointee. It's not a political appointment. It's an appointee given to you. Oh, Zacchaeus be the attorney general, and also Isaac be the commissioner of finance. And do not forget, these are the key positions in his cabinet. If the finance says that I'm not releasing money for you, there's no how the man will get money. It needs somebody there that is loyal to him, in real sense. And as an attorney general, and he said that don't go and defend, you can't defend me very well. Don't go there. And you are now saying that the man says is denying you of your duty. Because I know that when you get there, you will be saying something else about me. So don't go. I don't want you to defend me. Okay. Right? So he has the right. It's within his purview of operation to be able to say that, oh, I want. It's not even sacking them.
Yeah.
Anybody can reshuffle his cabinet and move you to a place to be able to perform effectively and efficiently. And what an audacity. You now say that I'm resigning. I'm tendering my resignation. Because they've done that before. And they'll be who does that? An employee resign. And he goes and says, please, come back. The employee will resign again. Okay. So those are the things. I think it's high time. I think if they want, Fubara'S hands are anchored. And it's more or less that is in his house and it does not have an authority or a say. And so a commissioner says that I can't leave this position. If you don't want me to stay there, I'm going. Then now someone will now say, come back and stay in that. It's not good for the not only for Rivers State, because it's laying a bad precedent to other states. Right. And which, if you are not careful, it could become a monster in the house, which will be difficult to curtail.
All right, Mr. Sessional, at this point, I'm going to speak to the political division in that state. What do you make of that? Knowing full well that as it stands, there is still the fingers of the former governor in person of Nyesom Wike, who, of course, these two gentlemen resigning are top loyalists of. Now, do you see a Fubara trying to sanitize his government and also take caution by dropping these two men to another political space?
Yeah, first and foremost, you say the Aza is divided against itself. I feel I pity for the citizen of that particular state. And that's what we're getting. Let me say this. When you say somebody is sanitizing the environment to have a cleaner area, you don't challenge whosoever engaged you. As the governor of the state, I think it's a lesson we are learning here day by day. This godfatherism and somebody actually appointed me, and even you that you are appointing anointed candidates should start understanding the dynamics that things are changing. So when you give a man power, I can tell you, they make you the managing director of this place today. You are no longer a presenter. They'll see the other side of you. But people forget that so soon. They think, no, it's my boy. I trained him. It's my boy. He can't do anything. Forget that thing. Power intoxicates. But here, I won't say it intoxicates. It's a function of this is the way I actually want things to be done. You've given them opportunity. I think they've been there for over 6 months. And if you go by the law, the labor law, you are on probation for 6 months to state whether you actually will be good for the job or will fire you. So if you have been on a particular seat for 6 months, and as the one who engaged your service, I'm telling you that I'm redeploying you. As a matter of fact, what I should be getting this morning is the State House of Assembly waging into it. But what do we get? They themselves are on the other side against the governor. And you see...
Do you perceive this as insolence on the part of these individuals who have been redeployed?
Yeah, it's gross insubordination, if you ask me.
Oh, okay.
It's gross insubordination.
Now, it doesn't seem like we are having the end to this yet, because
there is an end to it. You redeploy, they are not ready to take, then you fire them.
No, it's not in sight. The end doesn't seem to be in sight, because Isaac Kamaru, former commissioner of finance in the state, has said that the governor is not telling the truth as to how the finances of the state is being the management of it
of the state,
yes. Are we seeing? Do we expect some revelation in the coming days?
Yeah,
that might seem like.
I will tell you that we are ready for another scene of opening of Kankaworm.
Oh.
That will be made, because the current commissioner, I can tell you the way it's going, will want to eat Fubara. And be rest assured, why he is there is to protect the interest of his principal.
Of course.
And now that he's out of the game,
he would want
certain revelation. I think you can see what is playing out in several states. Kaduna is an example.
Yeah.
Sani came in and is actually putting searchlight to the former governor. We can see what is going on in Kogi. Even of the same party, by anointed candidate, people are bringing out certain revelation. So it's not the turn of River State. Let's watch and see. But the truth of the matter is, I will put this across that I was in a particular forum yesterday, and I was stating it that people like me are tired of hearing certain news of misappropriation of funds without any consequences on any of those people. You heard about Serika, the former minister, and before then, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we've had several people that have actually mismanaged funds, misappropriate funds, and today, no consequences. As a matter of fact, some of them are actually being celebrated, being given chieftaincy title. You want to talk about the former Attorney General, the Accountant General of the Federation, and all those things. These are basic problems. So, if tomorrow the commissioner of finance in River State unravel certain things about the current governor, be rest assured that will go back to 8 years. I will start saying it. But to me, I consider that for we the citizen, as a good move.
Okay.
But you ask yourself, where will be the position of the anti-graft agency or the judiciary to actually wage into it and punish people? You see, I keep telling individuals that care to know the major problem we have currently in this country, and why I consider that moving forward will be difficult, is that there are no consequences for wrongdoing. Okay. You are free to do whatever you like, and you can go away with it, provided you have money.
Now, Dr. Ganiu, there's another tone that the peace pact that was signed in Abuja now is about collapsing. And if that actually happened, what do you think would be the fate of River Indigene? Because River State people actually are the ones that are better burned.
Two things. Intellectually, it didn't collapse, because when you look at it, it didn't sack them. It's just, it will say that they are not out of his cabinet. It was told to reabsorb them. And the peace pact does not say that reabsorb them in the same position. When you look at, lawyers will read in between the lines, right? Technically, say it's just reabsorb them back, but it does not say that this retain them in the position. So he's not saying that I'm sacking them. If he wants to go ahead, he said that he did not breach any gap. It's still within the confine of the discussion because he's trying to reshuffle his cabinet. And you know that everyone needs a loyal person. And you need someone to make your job easier, right? Why will I have someone as a commissioner of finance and it will be like a bottleneck for me? Or perhaps my principal is saying that give me XYZ amount and he's giving it to him without my authority, right? And I needed something to do a project and said there's no fund around. You know, and if that continues to be, I'll just need to get someone there. And you look at it also, to put it in proper perspective, the place they redeployed Isaac to, it's also a very lucrative place. You have an authority. You know who to bring out. It's a powerful position. Yeah. It's just that you don't have access to fund. So it also in line with corporate governance. If you are in a seat and they're trying to move you away from there, and you are making a lot of move to cause havoc that you can't, it shows that there are something on that seat you are benefiting and you don't want it to be exposed. In line with corporate governance and also HR. So there must be a way we could move people around so that they have they have a fair share of each of the department. Right. And if you have nothing to cover, you must say that since I'm still within the cabinet, I'm here to serve the citizen, let me move around. But if there are things that also you have a selfish interest for on that position, it's just like somebody being unemployment and you never go and leave. Something is wrong somewhere.
Something is wrong, of course.
The internal control, we wave into that there is something you are enjoying that you don't want. So it's also great. You know, when we go into the corporate practice, you will discover that there's a lot of things that is wrong. And if this man that is saying that I'm your subordinate, and I'm saying that move, and say I'm not moved, there's something you are saying. You know, it's also a growth in subordination. Total growth in subordination, that there's something you are hiding, I need to expose to the public. So at that point in time, it shows that you cannot actually work with me. So the peace pact, in the real sense, is not being breached. And when you talk about the fate of Fubara, I think the guy he is already been affirmed by the Supreme Court.
Right.
Okay. The only person that could also try to overturn is the House of Assembly. And it can also come back and say that those House of Assembly then that have left their position and come back, they are illegal, right? Because there is no court of law. You know, we have a precedent of what happened in Ondo State. And in Oyo State, when those guys withdrew, and the law says that you can't come back again until a fresh election is being carried out. And do know there's a precedent, and this is a law. And anything that wants to have a legal backing, it must be said. You know, they work out of office and they work in again without no legal substance audit. Also in my field, there's what we call substance over form. You understand? So you must be able to put it in proper perspective. So they need also to think deep. They might be thinking they have a principal person as their godfather, because I know in recent, you can't just throw your resignation letter if you don't have somebody beating the drum behind you that be dancing and right behind you. Okay. So everybody just needs to tread carefully.
All right, you pointed to something, illegality thriving, especially in the State House of Assembly. Let me come to Chesson now. This illegality, haven't we condoned this for quite too long, seeing that according to what the law says, these lawmakers defected from one party to another, and they were supposed to lose their seats. Now that case is basically still in court, and they are still administering this state, revoking
most of the
governor's decisions, you know, bringing up policies that basically is affecting governance in the state. What is the role of the judiciary in all of this? Are we not encouraging illegality for way too long?
Yeah, pardon me, but I think I will sound a bit sarcastic this morning. People like us, we always tell you that our confidence in the judiciary is zero. And we have a lot of precedents that have actually imposed this. Several cases lingering for years. I said certain things. Imagine you taking 10 billion just last 2 years. Is 10 billion the same value as we speak today? The answer is no. But you see cases of misappropriation of funds lingering for years, as high as 10 years, without having a conclusion. Is to say there's a problem with our judiciary. Because I look at outside world.
There should be a time frame.
There should be, where we have a conclusion on this and actually give the verdict on it. That is the major reason why we are experiencing this problem in River State. There's the precedent. And what we always say in the law is that whatever precedent that has been laid, you follow through. I don't know why we are having exception to the law. And that's why we keep saying that as far as this country is concerned, we operate 2 levels of law. There are some that are meant for the high and mighty, and there are some that are meant for the low-trading set of people. So it's a function of where you belong to. Because if we have a precedent, like my friend said, from other states, and the law stipulates that when you vacate your seat based on the party, why didn't those the citizens? Because coming into the State House of Assembly is a function of people's votes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if they have voted you on a particular party to go and represent them, and you feel that you are no longer loyal to that party, you are going to the other party, what begat of you is to actually tender your resignation, appreciate the people for the confidence imposing you that you will come back and recontest on the other party and test your popularity. Because people actually, the pattern of our vote in this country is not always about individual. It's about the political party. So if you have used a particular political party to get into office and all of a sudden you are changing your position, what is honorable is for you to get at and go and recontest on the party that you feel that you have confidence or you believe in their ideology. And that's why I keep saying that our judiciary needs to up their game. We have so much belief that if there must be any transformation, it's on the judiciary. When it comes to corruption, you can imagine the EFCC chairman, saying he hoped that the man he's after will be prosecuted. He can't actually do, if he takes the case to the court and nothing is done, what has happened? We've seen instances where the military has picked up on the judiciary that they will actually find people culpable of certain things, sabotaging security issue, and what they see is that they will see them being reintegrated back into the system, constituting threats to their own personal life. I don't know where you will see a criminal having a guts to be challenging a security officer, saying, don't worry, no, it's a matter of few months. I'll be out. It's a slap. You saw that.
Yes,
it's a function of 1 year. It's a slap on our judiciary. And at times when some of us come, they'll say, you are putting sentiment. Law is not like that. Please, I wish I can have instances of what is obtainable in Asia. When we observe this, that guy coming out to tell a security officer who is empowered by the law to protect us, that don't worry, give me a few months. In the next 1 year, I'll come after you. The next thing I will do if I'm the president is to get you off the road. You will not even live to come back to see that guy. And that will give confidence in that security man. Because they've seen it happen. And that's why I feel that a lot is happening with our judiciary system. I know lawyers will come and say, no, you are not a lawyer. That's why someone like me, I said, a lot of my friends have said, Sheson, come and study. I said, I can't study law. Because it doesn't, at times, the way I manage those things goes. How can you be challenging a constituted authority empowered by the law? So judiciary need to up their game. And all these that we are saying, if they are setting the precedent in Rivers, just be rest assured that in no distance time, other states will follow suit, and we just see a lot of things not going right.
All right, thank you so very much. Now, Dr. Gadi, I want to come to you on this. It is said that when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. In this case, there is the Kamalu guy who is coming out to say the governor is not talking to the truth about how the finances of the state is being used. He also has resigned. are we seeing someone coming out to unveil a can of worm that a lot of persons do not want to see? That's on one part. If also that would happen, let's not also forget that Fubara was the Accountant General of Rivers State. Would he also be told that direction to get back to the one who has sent Kamalu? Because let's put it into perspective. Kamalu is a loyalist to Wike. Now, in all of this political tension in Rivers State, where lies the stability for the state, the stability and safety of the state and her citizens? And where lies good governance after this?
You see, this is what a lot of people are in power not for good governance, but also for selfish interest. For me, for Isaac, right? Isaac itself is a small rat in the house.
Okay.
You see, he's relying on Wike. Right? Isaac has Fubara has no issue with Isaac. Isaac is the smallest of his problem.
You think so?
Completely. Who is Isaac? You get in the scheme of things. And when you look at it, there's no cancan Isaac is going to bring out that is not going to indict Wike. Do not forget that he pulling his finger into the... So they also need to, because in my dialect also, like saying that once you pull Buru will pull Igbo. I don't know the English.
No, we'll bring you back to the street.
Right,
you know? Yeah.
So in those kind of... Once you are trying to spill up the something, what you are spilling out, you are actually indicting another one. Right? So there's no how you can complain. So you need also to be very careful.
All right.
That when you throw a stone, right?
Careful,
do not be careful.
Especially if you live in a glass house, which is what we're seeing over there.
So you need to be very careful.
Let's get our concluding thoughts here now. Let's get our concluding thoughts here now. This seems like a battle for the hearts of the people of the state, because the governor now has, when some people, some stakeholders came to visit him on a solidarity visit, he told them to go back and tell your people that I'm doing what is right in the interest of the people. Yeah. There is that statement to me feels like there is a burning desire to convince the people.
He's doing it. When you look
That's
at
a
him,
lot of work.
When you look at him, immediately he came into power, the IGR of Rivers has increased. And the civil servant...
But now he has to convince the people.
The civil servant are already enjoying, right? Because he just needs... Because if not, he won't be able to perform. He needs also to write his name in golden pen. He has a name to protect, right? Because in the long run, even if he's serving his principal, nobody sees his principal. They see him. Right. So he has to at least do something right for the interest of his name and his children. But if his hands are tied, that's why he needs to actually remove some things, shaking his cabinet to ensure... Remember, there was a time a lot of people were calling that he's a puppet.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said he knows what he's doing, that they will see the other side of him now to show that he is not. Right? So I think what he's doing, he knows. It should be the interest of the cause. If he's not doing things in the interest of the citizen, there's nowhere he's going to run to. He needs to, once he ensures that the citizens are very good, and remember, because of the peace talk, what he said he does not want to fight because he knows that it's the citizens of Rivers that will suffer. That nothing will happen to Fubara. Nothing will happen to his family. But he's more concerned. That shows the heart of a leader. Okay. And so if he's towing that route, he must also be able to say that I'm going to pull this. With my concluding thought, I think, on godfatherism, we should put an end to it. You see, a lot of people are now fighting themselves out of it. Edo State government fought himself out of...
is it not benefiting Kogi State?
Kogi State. No, Kogi State now is just starting. You know, the guy just started. He's barely how many months in office. You need to be because you need to also show loyalty for some few months until you have your footing. Like I saying in my dialect also, that until you get hold of the cutlass, or the cutlass thing, that you will not.
To your dialect,
Okay, when it, tí ọwọ́ ẹni bá gbé ba ikú dà, kó tó bèrè ikú tó pa bàbá ẹ̀.
Okay.
So until you get hold of the cutlass, you ask before you ask of what kind of death, who killed your father. So because until you get hold of the power, you don't have authority because you get beaten.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
So those are the things they need to get their seat right before they could now start showing that we also wield a lot of power to ensure things are done.
Okay.
All right then. Just saw. Let's get Okmade. Let's get your thoughts in as well.
Yeah, well, my simple thought is posterity will judge. Whatever anyone is doing is a matter of time. People will speak about the good or the bad that you have actually done to make them a better person. So all this that is happening in River State, let's the two elephants, so-called, realize that they are actually there for the people. And if the people are not feeling the vibes of why they are there, they have children, and their children too will definitely give back, and will always tell stories. People will play the CD to tell you that this is what your grandfather did, whether it's positive or negative.
Right.
That's why we say posterity, we always judge.
Well, we don't know if politicians in Nigeria consider that, but this is where we have to anchor this conversation. We've been speaking with Dr. Ganiu Oluwashola, Managing Partner, KJB Professional Services, and Sheson Okwade, who's a chartered accountant, tax professional, and transport administrator. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being with us on the program.
Great to be here.
I appreciate you for your thoughts and time.
Thank you.
We'll take a break now. When we come back from this break, we'll be looking at something completely different. It is the world is celebrating International Girls in ICT Day with the theme inspiring the need for more girls and women to join the ICT sector. So we will be joined by two women who have done well for themselves in different sectors, and they will be telling us how they got to where they got to, and encourage young girls, especially in this Gen Z era. We'll talk more when we come back from this break.